Hey, Max here for Movie Madness Entertainment. What you're going to be seeing now is one of the most unbiased and brutally honest reviews on YouTube. That's what I strive for in my reviews. I pay for my tickets. So what does that mean for you, the viewer? I'm the working man reviewing for you and for myself. I only pay for my tickets. That means I have no access. I refuse access, never access. The other thing is brutally honest without hate. No hate. No fanboy logic and excuses. You know? And then don't give in to FOMO. You know, FOMO tries to get you all. You don't want to miss out. Is this movie worth it for your hard-earned money for you and your family to see? There's so much in entertainment. Enjoy it at your leisure, and don't tell anyone how you should enjoy entertainment. And no gods. I'm an independent thinker, and I would ask that of you as a viewer. Don't give in to all this stuff. No one, you don't owe anything to anybody, you know, or any IP holder or company or director. You know, you work hard for your money. I'm only going to recommend it if you should spend your money. So I hope you enjoy my review. Hey, Max here for an out-of-theater review of Fantastic Four: First Steps. This is my initial reaction. They did it. They did it. They did it. MCU is back. Fantastic Four: First Steps was amazing, but I didn't think so at first. I didn't think so first. I have to hold up the Dr. Doom mask because I lost weight and it's too big on my face. Okay, so my initial thoughts. I was not sure about this movie at first. The production design, the setting, like classic Marvel. It feels like it's a different era, time period, because it's in a different universe. 828 was great. The setup was amazing. The costumes, the special effects are good in a superhero movie, like Avatar levels good, almost. There was bad though. I mean, not bad, but the first like 40 minutes is kind of it's kind of slow. It's a little slow. And I have to say the weakest link is Pedro Pascal. Maybe it's just because I'm used to the more poppy Reed Richards, the more fun Reed Richards. He's very boring. He's like a scientist, but people might like that. People might not like the cheesy Reed Richards from the early Fox movies. This is the fourth live action Fantastic Four movie. And besides the fun of the early 2000s one, I think this is the best. What do I mean by Pedro Pascal? Reed Richards was a letdown. He's just monotone and boring. He lacks charisma, which is really weird because he has a lot of charisma towards Vanessa Kirby on the red carpet. Hey, I'm not judging anyone. It is getting a little excessive, though. I have changed my mind on that. I think Pedro's putting, you know, if everyone's consenting adults, I don't care. It's not my business. But if it's that excessive, it is getting a little weird. It is getting a little weird. It's taking away from the movie promotion, and then honestly taking away from Vanessa Kirby, this is her breakout role. And I used to say that I thought she was a little overrated. Now I think she's underrated. She was the star of this movie. I will give a giant L to myself because Johnny Storm was Sue Storm and Johnny Storm were my favorites of this movie. Then The Thing, which was pretty good, although I don't like the beard. Shave the beard, Ben Grimm. Shave the beard. I don't like the way it looks. And I think he could have had a little bit cooler action. He had the least action sequences. The special, like all the moves. I'm going to compare this to Superman because all the action sequences felt like they had intent and purpose and breathed and weren't just fast visual noise and garbage just flowing at you. they had style, and Grandava, they're epic. Epic action sequences, like almost like the original Star Wars. Like they all breathe and are well thought out, and some of the best special effects in action sequences I've seen in a movie and sci-fi movie. This is a great sci-fi movie. Everything I loved about this movie is what Superman lacked, like epic scale, I'm still saying it wrong, I know. Epicness. And it really felt like the stakes were extremely high. And another L for Silver Surfer. This is the definitive Silver Surfer for me. She looked amazing. The action sequences with Silver Surfer Shala Bal were great. You felt the emotion. What's her name? Garner, I think her name is. Jolie Garner. Great. You could feel her presence and acting ability through the special effects. The stuff in space, when they get there, when they're looking for Galactus, and it's basically this. I thought this was like a 7 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10, until Silver Surfer and Galactus and Silver Surfer saved this movie. I still think Silver Surfer is better than Galactus. Even Galactus was great. I think they could be a little bit better. And finally too, we have what is with comic book hardcore people that don't want end credit sequences that have meaning and are good glimpse into the future. Like that's the shit. That's awesome. There's a great one. Hello, what am I wearing? There's a great one, and then there's just a lame one at the end, but the great one the mid-credit sequence makes up so much for the end one. You don't really need to say it for the end one. It's just like, it's a throwaway. I do want to rewatch this movie just for the special effects extravaganza. Gravitas, I finally got it. This movie is gravitas in epic scale of a superhero movie. And I guess this could be the spoiler part of it. I don't know if we're done with Galactus. And we're not, and this is another spoiler, and we're definitely not done with Doom. This is the spoiler part of this. Also, and there is another Easter egg in the end credit sequence as well, because it says Doom for music for the soundtrack, and it has a question mark. I think it at least had a question mark. Did it have a question mark and an exclamation point too? So I don't know which Doom this is. Johnny was amazing. I love this Johnny. I can't say that he's better than Chris Evans, because Chris Evans was funnier, but a really, really heartfelt Johnny. And I did not mind the kid this time. It's not like baby Johnny from Superman, or baby, what was his name? I don't know. Franklin Reed was cool. I like the dynamic of the family. The only other thing I would say is really, like they met up, and this is again spoiler part of it. They met up with Galactus, and he demanded their child, and they went back to their version of Earth, 828 Earth, and they basically said he asked for too much. They wanted our kid, and I was like, really? They just told them that? Why would they say? I guess they're that honest. Like, I don't know if I would even tell the people. I'm like, we got to face Galactus. Like, they didn't, and I think the Galactus action sequence. No. Never mind. The Galactus action sequence where it ends was freaking epic. And when, with Sue Storm having the best action sequence in the movie, and it's a mother's love, and you felt it, and you felt like sometimes like something that's like lacking in Star Wars, when they have so much epic power, you don't feel the tension in some of like the sequel trilogy. You felt the tension of her using every single ounce of her being to stop Galactus. You felt it, and she did, and she needed the love of her family to bring her back, and then I do want to see, I don't really care about the other Silver Surfer, the male Silver Surfer. After seeing this, I want to see her character. I want to see a story about her. Great movie. It is slow at the beginning, and I was really underwhelmed at the very beginning. And it's not because of the production design. It's not because of the way they filmed it, which everything's beautiful. Like the vehicles, the costuming, the cinematography. This is what I want from Hollywood. Like, we can do better. So I will give it ultimate points for that. I would say I would have given half, like the first third of the movie, I would have given it a 7 out of 10. But once Silver Surfer really, once Silver Surfer is there and the stakes are raised, and then the Fantastic Four interact as a family, I would say should I keep this on the whole? Thumbs up for me holding up my Doctor Doom mask the whole review. I was thinking about, this is for you, CGH, because if I didn't, CGH demanded, thumbs up for CGH, because he demanded I find my Doctor Doom mask and wear it the whole time. Because this epic superhero, this is some of the coolest superhero action I've seen in any movie, like on Snyder Cut levels, you know. Very, like, this is like the equivalent of seeing Darkseid and the Speed Force. There were some great special effects and some great, like, flight sequences. The whole chase scene with Silver Surfer was pleasantly it was unexpected and brilliant. That was one of the coolest action sequences I've ever seen, and some of the best special effects I've ever seen, which I can't believe I'm saying in an MCU movie. 9, I would love to give it 9.5 out of 10. I would say 9 out of 10. The reason I would take it down a little bit is the pacing, and Pedro is a little bit monotone and the delivery of his lines at the beginning, and the tone, or it wasn't punchy enough at the beginning. And they did have the comic book stuff that I don't like, but they got it over at the beginning. And yes, there's still comic booky stuff towards the end. They do some weird stuff too, but it's not like, you know, the cheesiness of the moment at the beginning of the movie, whereas at the end he helps you out. And some of the things they face, they got all that out of the way and moved on to something epic, grand, and scale. So 9 out of 10. My rating system is that, you know, 8 to 10 is a must-see. Have to see this in the theater. This is definitely Fantastic Four First Steps is definitely a theater-worthy movie. You should see it in IMAX. The special effects are that good. This is something epic that we haven't seen since Infinity War and Endgame, this type of action sequence with a big, bad-ass villain. And then the Silver Surfer stuff. Chef's kiss, amazing. So it's theater-worthy. Wait for VOD or skip, and this is definitely theater worthy just because the spectacle. You do have to sit through some clunkiness at the beginning, and I wish the Thing had a little bit better action sequences, a little bit more laughs, a little bit more clobbering. But Johnny was perfect. This is the definitive Sue Storm for sure. I can't say that about the Thing. And Johnny Storm is just different. It's a different Johnny. But definitely the best Galactus by far. There's not much to work with. And I would highly, highly recommend this movie. Thank you for watching. Get your comments in, and I'll see you in the next review.